Gata, thank you through Loputi Maiken, Lo Sports Center Telonite. Look, this week has been a sad one for Papua New Guinea, Lawrence. But regardless, it's a new day.
Yeah, I mean, look, the inevitable happened.
Yep.
Our founding father, on the 16th of March earlier on this week, we laid him to rest. And just a couple of words that I thought was sort of familiarize ourselves with. We were patriotic.
Yep, of course.
We were then sad, emotional. But one thing that really caught all of our attention was the fact that we learned a lot
in
the history of Papua New Guinea and how the short history we have. All the stories that we were able to listen and hear about from the Grand Chief, we were all to get a sense of what this man
most
thought.
of which were never documented,
never told. So a really good showing, and I must put on record here, all the media houses working together to ensure the whole country didn't miss a beat. And big thumbs up to everyone, all the crew that worked here, and also we work in all forms of media. Well done. Yeah.
And speaking of being patriotic, someone, a lot of people, I saw someone sharing it as well, but a lot of people have been, discussing it. It's given us a new perspective, and from a different standpoint, even the national anthem, it's going to hit different every time people sing it now.
Exactly. You go back to that moment when they finally got the Grand Chief to go across to the RAAF plane, and then everyone just sang the national anthem. They were not on cue. They just sang it, and so it takes a whole different meaning now. Of what Papua New Guinea means, and the national anthem. So, it's been an up and down type of a couple of weeks, but one that we'll surely remember.
Of course. All right. So speaking of PNG Pride, our very own DSP PNG Hunters, they will be going into season opener this weekend, and we will be hearing from the captain Ila Alu and head coach Mathew Church later on. Lawrence, let's get straight on with the scoreline.
Okay, Dini. You and your smart, smiling face there.
Broncos lost, so I'm sorry. I just had to, be...
All right, here we go. Here's the scoreline. Let's get straight into it. Melbourne Storms 26-18. Newcastle Knights 32-16 over the Bulldogs. And Broncos, we were up 16-0 at halftime, then lost 24-16. We did not even score.
You said they went to sleep at halftime?
Look, we somehow, it's a game of two halves. Anyway, continue on New Zealand Warriors, a good win against Gold Coast Titans, 19-6. Similar to the Hunters, the New Zealand Warriors have to stay in Australia in order for the comp to go on. So well done to them for winning the first game. 46-4, Sydney Roosters over Manly Sea Eagles, and Penrith, 24-zip. Against the North Queensland Cowboys. And the last two games played to end off round number one, Canberra Raiders too strong against West Tigers. It was 6-6 at halftime, so a lot to take out from that for the West Tigers. And the Sharks, massive winners over the St. George Dragons, 32-18. That's the NRL for you. All
right, we'll go for a break now. And on the other side, Hunters captain Ila Alu. Welcome back. You're watching Sports Scene. SPPNG Hunters skipper Ila Alu shares a little bit about how they're settling in on the Gold Coast heading into this weekend's opener of the Intrust Super Cup season.
Well, it's good to be here now. It's been a long process for us to get here, and to be finally here and settle in. It's a big relief for us as a team. Just to finally get together and train as a unit for almost a month now, being in isolation and being separated from each other. But it's good to be finally here and ready to compete in this year's Intrust Super Cup season. Well, at first we thought it would be a transition for us as the date that was set on the end of January the 31st, but fortunately it got delayed a bit because our proposed isolation here in Runaway Bay got declined by the Queensland Health, so we had to stay another week. And then there was some medical issues that arose, and it was decided for us to stay under isolation for 2 weeks while there. So it was a tough transition for us again to be actually training separately within us as a group, and to finally get a call up to come all the way here. It was a massive relief for us, but we knew we'll be in isolation for another 2 weeks. But full credit to the team that was behind the scene that got some gears approved for us to be some training equipment in the room, so it helped us a lot with the training programs. Just one way or other, keeping ourselves fit, and now it's a relief for us to be out finally. It's good that we all in a pair in a room, so like whenever, apart from training, whenever we feel lonely or like that, we at least had a good conversation, laughed about a few stuff, so kept our minds busy and away from, worrying too much about missing home and all that, so it was good. And yes, in training, obviously, we had to push each other in training, so just to keep us fit and ready to go. Pretty excited about the experience already. I mean, it's first of its kind for many of us to be in such a high-performance center, to be here for 6-7 months, we're all excited about it. We know that we'll be learning a lot from it also. Yesterday we get to meet all the consultants that will be behind us to help us along our journey. So we're looking forward to the experience. Yesterday we just got in, so in a few weeks leading up, whenever we get the opportunity to see what Gold Coast is as a city, then we can be able to experience what's in stock for us. Yes, we are. It's been a long journey. Yesterday we had a good sit down and have a good discussion about it as a team, and we know that we sacrificed a lot to be here, and it's all for us to compete in this season. Being part of the Intrust Super Cup, it's been a massive boost for us back home in PNG, and we all know what the atmosphere is like whenever all the teams come up to play. And for us to be part of it this season too, it's a huge privilege. So we won't use the transition from us leaving home to be here and as an excuse. We are to compete, and we are just pumped.
Hunters skipper there, Ila Alu. We'll go for a break now. Up next, Mathew Church, the head coach, will join Lawrence in a Zoom session.
All right, welcome back. You are watching Sports Scene. Now, something a little different this evening. We've got a Zoom call with, I guess it's on everyone's mind now, the Intrust Cup and the SP Hunters, who are now based in Australia, on the Gold Coast. And with us on the Zoom call, we've got Mathew Church, our head coach. He's been able to take some time off to meet us here. All right. Coach Church, well, good day. How's it been so far? And welcome on MTV Sports Scene.
Thanks for having me on, Lawrence. Welcome to the 2021, I guess, and the ways that we have to do it. And being relocated, we want to make sure that we can, obviously have exposure back into PNG. We're enjoying it. It's been a challenging time at times. We've gone through a number of things that other teams don't have to do, but we're getting there. We're all excited to be playing, and I mentioned to the boys earlier today that even as a coach, pre-season can be pretty long, and we all look forward to playing some games. So we could finally get to do that with round 1 on Saturday.
Mate, I guess that's what you're there for, and I've been reading your comments on social media. It's not about how we start, but how you finish, and that sort of resonates with me, and I'm really happy you're on this journey. And what are we going to expect from the boys this weekend?
Yeah, it's certainly an adaptation phase. We a little bit hamstrung, I guess, with the rest of the competition having played 2 or 3 trial matches. and we're coming back to new rules and new game and the way that it's played, and it's a lot quicker. We're going to mirror the NRL fairly closely with the rule interpretation. So we haven't actually had the chance to play under those rules yet. So it's going to take a little bit of time to adjust to that. The game speed, as you know, we cancelled last season and our guys went back and played Digicel Cup, which is great for our guys to play, but game speed is not what it's like at the Intrust Super Cup. So we're going to take a bit of time to adapt to the new rules and the game speed. So yeah, hence that statement about, well, I'm not really focused on how well we start. Yes, we want to make sure that we're putting in a lot of effort, and we're not going to use our relocation as an excuse for poor performances. But we, as I said, we're going to build into the season, and it's not really going to be how we started. It's definitely going to be how we finish the season.
Yeah, no, that's awesome to note. Now, you named your team earlier on this week, 5 debutants, and Ila Alu, he's the captain. I guess not a shock for you, maybe a shock for some in Papua New Guinea. Thought the usual suspects of maybe Ase, Boaz, or even Watson. You've gone for Ila, and I guess he, on the QRL TV, he was shown as going around and showing where you stay, and maybe that led to him being the leader. How did that come about, him being the captain?
Ila showed great leadership throughout that pre-season, and was voted by his players and staff, the rest of the staff, as having great leadership qualities. He actually outvoted Ase, which was very, very strongly last year. So, someone like Ase is obviously a leader, and Watson to a degree. We're flush with leaders, really, to be honest. We've got the original hunter and Watovo Pereira back with us, and he's also the most capped hunter in history. So you certainly love that experience, but those guys are getting on. So it's about how do we transfer that leadership, and appointing someone like Ila, who's had a bit of a disjointed hunter's career with injuries, and that I like it. I really like his temperament. I like who he is as a person, and he always puts the team first. So that's kind of one of the things that you want to have with your players, and certainly you want to have that with your captain. They have to do what's the best for the team. Sometimes we all have to make tough decisions, whether you're the coach or the captain, and he's someone that's willing to just put the needs of the few behind the needs of the many, and always put the team first. So that's why we've gone with him in 2021. And unfortunately for Ase at the moment, Ase has a medical condition that requires a follow checkup later in the year and early April, so he can't join us for a number of weeks until that gets solved. That's part of his to meet visa requirement. So that's so he's still in PNG, but as soon as he is clear to travel, then we'll be able to get him back. I believe he had a similar instance when he tried to go to England as well, at the end of, I think it was 2018 or 19 that he went to there. So he had a similar issue there. So it's not something new to Ase. But yeah, definitely, when Ase does come back into that, he'll be able to support Ila, and just really wanted to go younger to transfer that leadership. And someone like Kevin Appo, I'm really excited. He's only 21, 22, and he also showed a great deal of leadership last year. And he surprised me actually. And so it was good to give people like that the opportunity to have that, but then have all those senior guys around them to support them throughout the year.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Now, Coach, listen, we're going to have to wrap things up very shortly, but it's a home game this weekend. It's our first game in our brand new home, the Bycroft Oval in Runaway Bay. I'm telling you, a lot of Papua New Guinea athletes, Team PNG athletes, will know about Runaway Bay. It was used extensively for the preparations of the 2015 Pacific Games, and then in Samoa 2019, a lot of athletes down in Runaway Bay. So I'm sure there's that good Team PNG type of feeling there. You're going to wear black armbands and observe a 1 minute silence to pay respects to, of course, the late great Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare. Who do you think are going to be your standouts, and maybe your last sort of comments as we end off the interview tonight?
Yeah, I think with what's happened with Grand, important that we acknowledge that we're in another country. We're flying the flag for PNG Rugby League, but also PNG as a whole. So we want to honour his legacy, and we'll have the minute silence and wear black armbands. So I think that's an important mark of respect for a great man. and we're all fairly aware of what's happening in PNG at the moment. So we certainly want to make sure that we're entertaining the fans and the masses back in PNG and give them something else to look forward to. I know it's probably been a fairly sombre couple of weeks with the events of honouring of Grand Chief. So we definitely want to make sure that we're providing a good platform to start the year. We've got a couple of really good young guys that I'm really looking forward to seeing them play at Intrust Super Cup level. Some of those guys won't get a chance this week, but throughout the season they'll get an opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to what they can do.
All right, mate. The whole country is behind you. No pressure, okay?
No, that's fine. That's fine. I know that I'm expected to win every game. We did that last year for 2020 season, so I'm not sure we can have like that, but over 19 rounds. But yeah, we'll be giving it our best shot each week.
No worries, mate. Hope to catch you next week with some good news. Please pass our good luck to Ila and the rest of the players of the SP Hunters, and thanks for joining us tonight.
No worries. Thank you. Thanks for having me on. Please stay safe, PNG.
All right, there you go. That's Mathew Church, the head coach for the SP Hunters. We're going to take a short time out, and we'll be back with more on Sports Scene.
Welcome back. You're watching Sports Scene. Time's caught up with us, so I'll just leave it to Lawrence now to run us through what's coming up this weekend. It's all NRL.
Yep.
So Lawrence, please.
No worries. Thanks, Dini. The NRL this weekend, it is round number 2, and this is how they line up tonight. Parramatta Eels take on Melbourne Storms. Should be a massive game for both teams. I'm sure Parramatta will want to keep the winning record, and of course the Melbourne Storms as well. Now on Friday night, the 2 games will be played. New Zealand Warriors versus the Newcastle Knights, another really good game. And the local derby, Gold Coast Titans, David Fifita comes up against his old team, the Brisbane Broncos. David Mead, of course, playing for the Broncos. Had a really good game last week. Mero, really good game. As we switch it over. Geez, that was too quick. Bulldogs versus the Penrith Panthers. A big game there for Penrith and the Bulldogs as well. Manly Sea Eagles, they need to improve big time if they're going to be any challenge to South Sydney Rabbitohs. And the Cowboys and the Dragons both lost last week. One of them's got to win, and there was all talks about Taumalolo and the new coach saying he wanted to rest him and all that. So should be an interesting game. Sunday, West Tigers take on the Roosters, and the Sharks take on the Raiders. All right, so those are the games for this weekend for the NRL. I think that's about it.
Queensland Intrust Super Cup.
Yes, the Queensland Intrust Super Cup, as Coach Mathew Church said earlier on. The Hunters, they play on Saturday against Wynnum. Manly Seagulls. Falcons take on Northern Pride. Tweedhead
It's going to be like, is this a mixed competition?
Tweedhead Seagulls take on the Cuppers. Okay, this is round 1. All right, so the Intrust Cup, they start off this weekend. Blackhawks, Townsville Blackhawks take on Ipswich Jets. Mackay Cutters versus the Redcliffe Dolphins, and the Tigers, East Tigers, take on the Northern Devils. All right, so 1 year they did. The Intrust Super Cup didn't play last year, so 1 year on. Let's see how they go. So again, and the last game there, the Magpies versus the Bears. Okay, so again. Good luck to Ila Alu, captain for the to start off the season, and all the best to the Hunters. Yeah,
and look, we have the Women's National Soccer League draws, but there's talks of deferral, but we'll just put up the draws anyway. Okay. And if there's any more new updates, we'll bring you the updates if there's going to be a deferral and of which new dates they'll be putting it up at. But as of what we have, as of this week, this is what's on the screen, Lawrence.
Yep, FC Genesis take on Sepik FC, and this is the top 2 from the Northern and Southern Conference. And Poro FC take on NCD Hekari. All right, so that's this Saturday. The winner of that will play in the grand final. So that was meant to be played last week.
Yeah,
they deferred it to this Saturday, so hopefully they do play.
Yeah, and with the announcement of isolation, I've spoken to a representative from the PNGFA, and I'm yet to hear a feedback of where they are now with this decision on the final rounds. Yeah. So I think that's about it. Do you have anything else to tell our viewers before we go?
Well, I mean, it's obviously affecting the whole country. 3 things, people. Our attitude's got to change. Mask up, sanitize, wash your hands, stay at home. If you don't need to go anywhere, isolate, and we'll bring the sports to you. We'll make sure we do that. So if we do this, everyone right around the country, we do this for the next month. We'll stop the spread and
That's right.
Try and get back to some normalcy. We were getting there, and we just got a bit complacent, and this is what we have to do again.
Absolutely. Now, to help that process, here on Sports Scene, for us to be able to bring you those stories, for those who are running sports competitions or you have any sporting tips, stories, please do send us an email on sports@emtv.com.pg. If our operator can put that on screen, there you have it. Yes, so there you go, sports@emtv.com.pg. You can call us on 312-9200, or you can message us on our Facebook page. That's the Sports Scene page, and leave your contact details, your full name, and the story tip, and we will get right back to you. I think that's it. If you can refrain, for the ones in Port Moresby, please refrain from coming to the MTV office, because we're in a very, it's a very small building, I must say, and there's a lot of movement. So if you can help it, please don't come to the MTV office. Use one of these mediums to get in touch with us. So, Lawrence, until then, we will see them same time, same place next week. Bye for now.
Good night.